everyone! I'm trying something new today, even more different than I did last week. As you can see, today's video is going to be a speed draw. I had a minor oral surgery on Friday, so I'm not up for being on camera at this time. So I thought it would be a good time to try a speed draw, since I've wanted to for a while, but I haven't. Today I'm drawing Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy from the Harley Quinn DC Universe series. While the speed draw plays, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the show and why I think it's a fabulous example of what adult cartoons can be when they reach their fullest potential. There will be one very minor spoiler ahead. I will put a timestamp on the screen for where to skip to if you do not want this tiny spoiler. I'm not going to give much of a plot summary, but you should know that the show follows Harley Quinn as she seeks to figure out her identity outside of the Joker. Now let's get into what's so great about the show. Reason number 1. Unlike most Harley Quinn media, the show does not center around her relationship with the Joker. It takes place after that relationship has ended. This is so refreshing because Harley Quinn is an interesting character in her own right. The relationship with the Joker has been done to death, and it's just frankly boring now. Reason number 2. For a superhero cartoon, it is surprisingly focused on relationships. It develops each character's relationship to one another beautifully. Watching the show, you can really feel the bonds that characters have with each other. The show makes you invest in these friendships, romantic relationships, and nemesis relationships in a way that makes you keep coming back for more. Heartwarming moments between characters can make you tear up or even cry because of how well the show gets you emotionally involved. Reason number 3 that I love this show. It's not afraid to tackle difficult topics, and it does so with grace and depth. It takes an unflinching look at trauma, traumatic memory, and the way that people cope. We see a fictionalized version of how trauma therapy can play out as characters go into their own minds, review traumatic memories, and rewrite them in their minds. This retelling of the narrative of traumatic memories is actually a common thread in many different trauma therapy methods. The idea is to reimagine traumatic experiences in a way that gives you back your agency. Therapies that involve retelling or rewriting traumatic experiences have high success rates. So seeing a fictionalized, more magical version of this real-life therapeutic method in an adult cartoon was really cool. Oftentimes, shows have characters deal with trauma in unrealistic ways, which can perpetuate inaccurate ideas about how to manage trauma. It's rare to see a TV show, let alone a cartoon, get this right. Reason number 4 that I love this show. Because it's an adult cartoon, they're able to kill off a lot of people and show blood or injuries. I know this sounds like a weird reason to like the show, but hear me out. Most superhero shows and movies have an issue with realism, outside of the obvious fact that superpowers don't exist. What I mean is, they have villains and heroes with fantastically destructive powers as well as deadly weapons, yet somehow we don't frequently see much death or injury. Somehow, people miss almost every shot they fire. Somehow there are minimal deaths, and we don't see many serious injuries. This show isn't afraid to demonstrate the real human costs that having superheroes and villains running around would actually result in. Despite all the death and injuries, though, the show manages to keep a light tone. Comic relief is used appropriately to keep the show moving and ensure that the realism doesn't come at the expense of being depressing. Reason number 5 that I love this show. The writing is very clever and humorous. Witty dialogue, running gags, and situational comedy make it a really funny show in addition to being compelling. Reason number 6 that I love this show. It is sincere and hopeful. Unlike other excellent adult cartoons, which I also enjoy, such as Rick and Morty or BoJack Horseman, the show isn't jaded and it doesn't flirt with existentialism. Watching the show, you get the sense that things matter and that things can get better. You rarely finish an episode feeling listless or empty in a way you might with the shows I mentioned previously. It also doesn't get too dark just for the sake of being deep. It doesn't peddle any irresponsible philosophies like nihilism, and it doesn't revel in character sadness. Sort of like the adult cartoon Bob's Burgers, this show is earnest and optimistic. Reason number 7. Unlike many shows that follow a villain character, despite being a supervillain, Harley is not a bad guy. She has a code of ethics that she tries to stick to. It can be exhausting to watch a show where the protagonist is an objectively horrible person, so it's really refreshing to see a villain character with a heart of gold. I hope I've expressed effectively why I think this show is so great. I could have gone on much longer, but that would have required way more spoilers. Since this video is supposed to be a pitch for why you should watch it, spoiling things feels counterproductive. So thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry if the video got choppy at certain points. I had some learning experiences today while editing the video. Apparently, the way speeding things up works in iMovie, you actually lose some of the frames, so I'm sure there were parts of the video where it kind of like skipped the actual drawing of the line part, so. Next time I do a speed drawing like this, I might try to find a different app to speed up the actual drawing video. Please like this video, please subscribe, please drop a comment, and I will see you next week, hopefully with my face on camera, because hopefully I will be feeling better next week. So, thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye!